The diner buzzed with conversation, the clinking of coffee cups, and the golden warmth of a perfect afternoon. But in a single, heart-stopping instant, that cozy atmosphere shattered, cruel laughter and a splash of cold water cutting through the hum. The entire room froze as a glass tipped, sending a stream of water over a young, pregnant woman sitting quietly in a corner booth. Her plate of pancakes trembled as she gasped, water running down her face and soaking her blouse and blazer. The waiter, his name tag reading Brad, laughed along with his friends, their blue diner uniforms glinting under the light. What they didn't know, what none of them could have guessed, was that the woman they just humiliated wasn't just another customer. She was the wife of a man walking through that very door. One of the Hell's Angels, a man who had once given up everything for love. If you believe in kindness, redemption, and second chances, take a moment to like, comment, share, and subscribe to Kindness Corner, because what happens next will remind you that compassion can touch even the hardest hearts. Her name was Grace Holloway, and she hadn't wanted to come to this diner. 7 months pregnant, tired, and lonely, she missed her husband Cole, who was away most of the time running his small motorcycle repair shop and working hard to stay out of the life he had once lived. For years, Cole had been a member of the Hell's Angels, known for his rough exterior and fierce loyalty. But after marrying Grace, he promised her peace. He promised their unborn child a world without violence, without fear. Today, Grace had come because she missed him. The diner had been their spot once, where he used to bring her milkshakes after long rides. She sat in the same booth they had shared, tracing her fingers along the chrome edge of the table, remembering how far they'd come. But when Brad, the waiter, approached her, something felt off. He looked annoyed, maybe because she asked for her meal to be reheated after it arrived cold. His pride didn't like that. "We're not running a 5-star restaurant," he muttered, sarcasm dripping from every word. Grace lowered her eyes, trying to remain calm. She wasn't confrontational. She'd been a teacher once and knew how to handle rudeness. But when Brad returned, smirking, glass in hand, she didn't anticipate the cruelty that followed. The water hit her like a physical insult. The splash echoed across the diner, and the other waiters laughed, a chorus of mockery. Grace froze. Her chest tightened, not from the cold, but from humiliation. Every eye in the diner turned toward her. Some looked away in pity, others simply stared. The laughter cut deeper than the water ever could. Instinctively, she clutched her belly, trembling, trying to hold herself together. Her lips parted, but no words came. At that exact moment, the bell above the diner door jingled. The laughter died. A heavy silence fell as sunlight poured through the doorway, and with it came 5 men in leather vests, boots thudding against the checkered floor. The Hell's Angels patch gleamed on their backs, and at the front was Cole Holloway. His eyes locked on the scene, his pregnant wife, soaked and shaking, and a group of waiters frozen mid-laughter. His face went pale, then red, his jaw tightening. Grace looked up, tears streaking her face, and their eyes met. Everything unspoken filled the space between them, her pain, his rage, the unbearable weight of what had been done. Cole didn't yell. He didn't need to. The power in his silence was louder than any shout. He stepped forward slowly, friends fanning out behind him. Every diner could feel the shift in the air, like a storm had found its center. Brad took a nervous step back, his grin wiped clean. His friends, who had been bold moments ago, suddenly couldn't meet his gaze. Cole stopped beside Grace's booth. He looked at her trembling hands and reached out gently to her shoulder. "Are you all right, sweetheart?" he asked, voice soft but shaking. Grace nodded weakly, whispering she was fine. But Cole saw the hurt in her eyes, and that was enough. Turning to Brad, Cole's voice dropped into a deep, calm, dangerous tone. "That's my wife." The words hung heavy, final. Brad's mouth opened, but no sound came. One of the other waiters tried to stammer an excuse, but Cole's look silenced him. Without another word, he picked up the same glass used to humiliate Grace and placed it back in Brad's trembling hand. "You think it's funny," he said quietly. "Try laughing now." But Grace grabbed his arm. "Cole, please," she whispered, voice trembling. "Not like this. Let's just go." Her words, gentle, loving, desperate, stopped him. The diner remained still as she stood, dripping, fragile but unbroken. Every step she took felt like reclaiming something, her dignity, her peace, her strength. Cole's anger melted into pride. He removed his leather vest and draped it around her shoulders, guiding her toward the door. As they walked out, one of the older bikers paused by Brad. "Son," he said quietly, "there are two kinds of men in this world, those who laugh at pain and those who learn from it. Don't ever be on the wrong side again." Then he followed them out, leaving behind only the silence of shame. The moment lingered in the diner. The laughter never returned. Brad stood frozen, water glass shaking in his hand. For days he couldn't sleep, replaying Grace's eyes, her quiet dignity, and Cole's still fury. The lesson haunted him, and maybe, in some small way, changed him. Months later, on a rainy morning, Grace returned to the diner. Brad was still there, but he looked quieter, humbler. When she walked in, he froze again, but this time he didn't laugh. He approached slowly, placing a hot coffee in front of her. "I'm sorry, for everything," he said softly. Grace smiled faintly, eyes forgiving. "We all make mistakes. It's what we do after that matters." Outside, thunder rolled in the distance, but inside that small diner, something had healed. If this story touched your heart, or reminded you that everyone deserves kindness, even those who fall, please like, share, and subscribe to Kindness Corner. Before you go, tell us in the comments, do you believe people can truly change when shown kindness? As Grace walked out of the diner one last time, holding her newborn baby close, a leather jacket waited for her by the door, a quiet reminder that strength and gentleness can live in the same heart.